Well, good morning, magandang umaga, and welcome to today's episode of My PI Dream. Today is this is the second week of May, and as you notice, I am still in a sweatshirt here. Although most of the mornings here have been quite warm, we've got some cloud cover right now. Normally cloud cover keeps a little bit of the heat down, but for some reason this is a chilly morning. So I'm preparing myself by wearing a sweatshirt this morning, and there's some projects that I have to work on today, and I thought maybe you would be interested. But before we start our project agenda, let's take a look at the pond right now. I picked up a couple of koi fish over the weekend. We took my dad out while he was still here, and we picked a couple of koi just to get something inside the pond before our order comes in. We have an order of fish coming in. You'll be excited to see that when that comes in. I think in about maybe 2 more days, I think I receive my big order of koi. But I want you to see the fish, if you can see them. Those little ones aren't koi. Those are my feeder fish. That they were my canaries in the caves, so to speak, and they're doing great also. Lots of them right there. I don't know if you can see from the reflection, but there are the small ones, and we have 2. We have a gold koi over here. I don't know if you can see him. Kind of hard to see. We have a white one around here hiding. You know, the traditional looking koi with the white and the orange and the black. And we'll see if I can't find him. He's a little bit shy. Well, alright, I found out where the other koi was hiding. He's hiding behind a fold in the PVC liner. So anyway, we'll let him continue to be a little bit shy, and we'll just get our day started. And then I will explain to you in just a minute what we are going to do for today. So anyway, let's go ahead and get today started. So without further delay, let's get today's video underway. As you can see, spring is alive and well here in Charleston, South Carolina. All of those sago palms that we showed several weeks back that had no growth, it looked like the winter had taken them out and they were not going to survive. You see all the new growth, and we're not talking about a few inches of growth. Just in the past few weeks, we have leaves that have spawned more than 24 inches. Case in point, let's look at some of them that we have just right here on the back patio. This is a new one. Right here. This just started just a few days ago. Look at the new growth from this right here. And this will grow out, and we'll have all new leaves that we'll be pulling out, and we'll have all new growth, and the plant will look just like it did at the end of the season last year. before we get to our agenda of what we have to accomplish today, I want to show you something I did yesterday. Yesterday we have a sago palm that's in the very front of the yard. I'll show you that one up there, and then we'll come back here and we'll look what I collected from it. Now this is the sago palm in the front of our yard. It's up by the mailbox. And it had, it looked like it was gone. It looked like it had nothing that was going to come back on it. But sago palms are very robust plants. And at the bottom of it, of this plant yesterday, this was full all the way around. There were pods with growth, with new growth on all these new seedlings that were at the bottom of this plant. What I did was I cut them off, and we generated from this one plant right here, we generated about 20, I think I counted 26 new sago palm plants from it. And I'll show you some of them I collected. I gave some of them away to the neighbors, and I saved a few for myself so that we could propagate them in other areas around the yard. But right now all we have for growth on the top of this plant is thorns. These are the protective thorns that go on the outside of the leaves, and what they do is they go around the base of the plant, around the trunk, and it protects them from predators and anything that might try to attack it. I think that's nature's way of protecting itself. But the top of it up here, in the center, there's a cone, and we will eventually get some new leaves. This is a late bloomer for some reason on this one. All the other ones are in full bloom of the new leaves. But let me show you the pods that we pulled off from the bottom of these that will generate all new growth for brand new sago palm plants. So inside this bucket, these are just a few of what we pulled. These are some of them that I saved from yesterday. And let me show you what the pods look like. All you do is you take a shovel and you push down in between the pod and the mother plant, and you can pop them off and they will separate just like, and they look just like little pods. Let me show you what I'm talking about. You have to be careful. I really should be wearing gloves because some of the prickly needles that they have on here. But you can see down there in the center, right there, in the center is the new leaves that will be coming out on these right here. And there's some small ones or some large ones. And then we have very small ones, just like these right here, very small ones. But these little pods will make all new plants. And we have tons and tons of them inside of here. Well, anyway, that's what they look like. We'll get to that later on, but that's not the objective of today. Let me show you what the objective of today is. So you remember, let me jump over the pond here. You remember when we were working on putting the pond together, putting the life support system, there used to be a raised bed garden right back here. Well, that area needs to be repaired. You can see the grass is growing like crazy on the rest of the yard, and it is growing so healthy. Look at this grass. The grass is growing and wonderful back here, but we have to do a repair of this area right here. So what we're going to do, we're going to go down to our local landscaping plant nursery, and they have things like mulch, and they have topsoil, and they have, of course, all the plants at the nursery that they have as well. But we're going to visit one of my favorites here in the local community, and we're going to get about a half of a truckload of some topsoil, and hopefully we have some sod. I don't know what day their sod delivery is, but I believe they should normally store about the middle of the week, and this is the middle of the week. So let's go see if we can find some topsoil and some sod to fix this area here. All right, well, here we are at one of my favorite nurseries in the local area. This is Stack's Nursery, and they have a vast assortment of great items inside the nursery department for shrubs and flowers and trees. They also are one of the biggest suppliers around here that has things like mulch and topsoil, screen topsoil, and different types of grass. So I think we can get everything we need today from Stack's in one pickup. We're going to get about a maybe 1 yard of topsoil, and then we're going to get around between 15 and 20 pieces of grass to fill in that spot and try to get that area back where the raised bed garden back to looking like a lawn again. And for your information, these are palmetto trees back here. The palmetto tree is the state tree here in South Carolina, and you'll see them mostly up along the coast, up and down along the coast. But since they are such a popular item now for homeowners, people are bringing these to their houses further inland, and they are a pretty robust tree as well, even with the colder weather that we have in this part of the country. What you see behind me, this is the beginning of the new gift shop that they're going to have here at Stack's Nursery. I was just talking with one of the attendants here, one of the caretakers of the plants, and she was telling me, her name is Jo, by the way, and she was just telling me that this place right back here is going to be the new gift shop, as well as they have a new office that they're building on the other side. So you can see this is a very successful business here, and they must be doing the right thing, which is giving the customer what they want at a reasonable price. Well, anyway, this is the topsoil. This is the screen topsoil back here behind us. We are going to get a ½ yard today. We tried to do the calculation. Well, the folks here, the fine folks here at Stack's, they did the calculation, and for a 4x12 by about 2 inches deep, we're talking about a ½ yard. So what they're going to do, they'll pull the ½ yard, they'll dump it into the back of the old Tundra right here, which will hold a much bigger payload than that Hilux inside the Philippines. And then what we'll do is we'll proceed to the front of the landscaping yard here, and we will pick up 19 pieces of centipede. Hopefully we will fill in that whole area, and before long, maybe a couple of weeks, you will not even notice that we have a big hole in our backyard. Well, okay, we are done picking up everything we need to pick up here at the nursery today. Let's get back to the house. Let's drop that soil down and let's go ahead and put that sod down and let's get that area cleaned up. All right, now, well, I got the sod laid out in the backyard. It's sitting in the shade right now, so we don't burn it out any more than we need to burn it out. And right now, we are going to put down the soil. We're going to drop that topsoil, that screened topsoil. We're going to drop that down in this area right here. I'm going to chop up some of the soil right now on the ground. Try to get up any of the weeds that are down there. And then we'll put down some topsoil. Couple between 2 and 3 inches of topsoil. Then what we're going to do, we're going to put some kind of fertilizer inside there, just a light amount of fertilizer, usually something like a 10-10-10 or maybe a 19-19-19, and what that does is that helps the roots of the sod survive even better. They'll grab that nutrient as it's growing and it will stimulate them to grow even deeper. Remember, you want deep root growth when you lay down new sod, and we'll talk about it when we get to the sod point right now. But right now the big thing is we need to download that topsoil from the back of the truck and get it back here. Okay, well, the topsoil is down. I have a little bit left over, but the leftover that I have in the back of the truck, I'm going to use for some topper on the front yard. We have some damage near the street. We have some low spots, so I will level it out. Just remember, if you use topsoil for a topper, just don't put it too thick where it smothers the grass. Just put enough around the edge, maybe, oh, I don't know, maybe about a ½ inch or less, even less, maybe a ¼ inch. And what that does, that promotes the root growth, the spread into that area, and create healthier roots and make your yard fuller. But that's what we'll do with what I have left over. Right now, I have to pick up some 10-10-10 for the, remember I told you, underneath the grass mixed in with the topsoil that I just put in. It's highly recommended that you put a little bit of fertilizer inside there. So we're going to go down to Lowe's real quick, see if we can find 10-10-10, and then come back and finish work here, lay the sod, and put that topper down in the front of the yard. Okay, the topsoil is down. I have some 12-10-10. I couldn't find 10-10-10. Yeah, I don't know why. Usually you can always find 10-10-10, but I couldn't find it today. So we put some 12-10-10 inside there, and that will work just fine. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to lay our sod down. Now, when you lay your sod down, remember, this is only a small area that we're working on right here. But if you were doing a large yard, an entire yard, And this is in the US. Remember when we did it over at our home in Lipa in the Philippines? They bring out small pieces of sod, maybe 3 inches by 3 inches, and they pull pieces off of that about the size of postage stamps, and they divide that all over the place and make spaces in between. And that's for cost saving. That's for the way they do it there. But it works. You should see the front yard now. I'm going to have to take a picture or get my sister-in-law to take a picture before I get back to Feliz, so that you can see the way it's growing and blooming. They even said it needs to be cut. I don't think it needs to be cut, and I'll tell you later why you don't cut it so soon. Anyway, you allow it to grow longer. And anyway, so we're talking about this area right back here. So I was talking about laying sod. Now the sod you see back over my shoulder here, I don't know what the size is. Let's take a look and see what the size is. These are the size that the sod normally comes here in the US. It comes on a pallet usually, and you pull pieces off on a pallet. If you're doing a full yard, what you would do is you would get several pallets that would be delivered to your house, maybe 5, 6, 7 pallets. And you lay out your entire yard. You could do 1,000 square meters or a little over a quarter acre. You can have that all done with your house in the center, of course. You can have it all done in an afternoon. It really doesn't take that long to do it. And it's very fast. But it probably costs us a little bit more, and which is the reason why they do the small pieces in the Philippines. But anyway, what I was getting to, I keep getting off track here. So those are the pieces of sod. You lay them in a row. Then the next row you do, it's just like doing concrete hollow block. You overlap your seams inside there, so you don't have the same seams running all the way across in a symmetrical pattern. You have an overlap. You don't want to have to do that, but it works better, and it will fill in faster, and you won't notice the gap inside there while it's filling in. So that's what we're going to do right now. Then I will tell you what we will do after we get done with laying the sod. Well, it's obvious I need a few more pieces of sod. I should have thought about that when I went down to pick up the sod. I asked them, I said I have an approximate, and I didn't even measure it off. I said an approximately 4 feet by 12 feet raised bed garden that I need to replace the soil in. And they gave me what I needed for that, and that's what this is. This is enough for a 4 by 12, with actually a couple extra ones on top of what the original number was. But I didn't think about, I also need to extend to the fence line, and I need to extend over here to get over to the koi pond, which I will do a calculation later on, and I will pick up some new sod anyway. As you can see anyway, this sod has kind of a yellowish tint to it, which means it's been sitting up for a while. And normally it can sit out for about a week, and that's about as long as you really want to wait before it starts breaking down and becoming compost, like some of that happened at Villa Feliz. But this one, since we still have some green inside, it's okay. I saw some others when I went to pick up some other sod when I went to pick up the fertilizer today, and I saw it was much greener. I think delivery day each week is either Wednesday or Thursday, so we went at the very end. I think we had the week-old stuff here. But that's okay. It will come in. I feel secure about this. So I am going to tromp this down. When I say tromp this down, the normal thing you do if you were doing a large yard, you would go and you would rent or purchase this roller. It's a barrel. In the barrel you fill it with water, and you roll over the top of this so it's nice and flat and you don't have a lot of wavy humps and all. Well, this is such a small area right here. We're going to do this by foot, so I'm going to take my feet, I'm going to walk along this all the way. I'm going to get it nice and level, and then we'll water it in good. Now, when you ask about watering, how much water should I put on my sod, my newly laid sod? When you first put it down, you should put an inch of water for your sod. And you say, well, how do I know that I've got an inch of water? Well, a good way of doing it, you could take like a coffee can and have a sprinkler. And you take the coffee can and you put it somewhere in the circumference of where you're watering your new grass. You just set it there, and you keep an eye on that can. And when you turn your watering sprinkler on and you see 1 inch sitting up in the bottom, then you've given 1 inch of water to your new sod. Since this is such a small area right here, that won't be necessary, and I'll just water it myself. After I tromp it down, I'm going to do a foot tromp on there to try to get everything level, since I don't have one of those watering barrels that you roll over to make it nice and flat. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, so let's finish up the job for today. Let's go get the remainder of that topsoil that's in the back of the truck. We'll spread that around in some of the bad spots in the front yard, and then we will call it a day. As you can see, the back of the truck is a mess, so I need to clean it out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to back it to the yard. I'm going to sweep out as much as possible, not waste any of that precious topsoil, because it's great for the grass. Then I will wash it out. I will get the hose, wash it out, and then we will call it a day. Well, that's about it for today. Mission accomplished. Got that area where the raised bed garden, got it filled in with some sod. I still have a little bit more to do around the edge of it, but that's no sweat. I can do that easily. I'll probably finish that tomorrow. Pick up some new pieces of sod, probably from Lowe's, because I saw some today and they have a lot of green in it. So, and I only need a few more pieces, and that's right around the corner. Upcoming things, I think Saturday we're planning a trip to downtown Charleston.
Because it's a special day.
Yeah, we are going to, and it's a special day for us, and we'll share that with you later. Anyway, so downtown Charleston, we're going to start bright and early on that trip, and we will show you the sights and sounds of Charleston, South Carolina. Hopefully it's a beautiful day where we can take advantage of the sun and the good weather down there as well. Well, anyway, I think that's it for today. Oh, one more thing. We have one of our pups are being taken home. Our adoptive parent, she is coming by on Friday to pick up one of the pups, and that is our Ironworks person, Grace. She is coming by to grab the very first. I offered her the first one, so she gets pick of the litter. And then Sean Pascali, if you are out there, and I know you are, you get number 2 pick. So get a hold of me as soon as possible. They are ready for pickup now. They're eating whole food, and they can be weaned away from their mom. So Sean, get a hold of me if you want to come pick, and we'll arrange for your pickup. And then again, that leaves 3 pups that we have left over. I have no confirmation yet on the last 3. The last 3 Hopone / Mary Ann pups that are available. So if you are interested and you are in the area, in the Batangas, Lipa City area, or like I said, if you are willing to drive or fly to that area to pick up one of those special pups, coordinate with me. And like I said, we have 3 left. So anyway, we are going to close for today. If you enjoyed today's video, please give us a thumbs up. Please share, and if you have not subscribed, just click on that little My PI Dream heart in the bottom right hand side of your screen. You will be subscribed, and you will be notified the next time we upload a new video. So until that time, you have a wonderful and blessed day.